PSN New York.
All right, well, students at the Ethical Culture Fieldston School have been making headlines this week after they staged a teach-in to protest the school's handling of a blackface incident involving 2 students at the school. Today, the students in charge of the sit-in are holding a press conference at the school to address their demands and potential changes to the school's policy. Let's listen in.
For the past 80 hours, the Students of Color Matter movement has occupied Fieldston's administrative building in a successful attempt to pressure the Board of Trustees and the Administrative Council to finally address the demands of Fieldston students of color. In conjunction with the lockout, there have been sit-ins and teach-ins in surrounding buildings on campus. At this time, we would like to restate our mission. Hashtag Students of Color Matter is a collective of people of color from Fieldston dedicated to improving the experiences of marginalized students everywhere. The use of racist and bigoted language are symptoms of systemic and institutional racism that plague educational institutions across the country. For this reason, we command the implementation of structural reform, such as long-term curriculum changes, the admittance of more students and faculty of color, and racial sensitivity training for all community members. Last night, we worked tirelessly for 7 hours with members of the administration and the Board of Trustees in a mediated and constructive dialogue regarding our demands. We will now hand out the agreement that the Board of Trustees, members of the Administrative Council, and Students of Color Matter have reached regarding our 16 demands for immediate and long-term improvements for ECFS. Now that we've reached an agreement to fulfill these demands, it's time for action on the part of the whole community, in particular the Board of Trustees, the Administrative Council, and all faculty, staff, and families. This work is just the beginning. We will continue to hold this institution accountable and ensure the implementation of these demands. The work that has been done is imperative to fulfill the school's progressive mission, which includes a commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, social justice, and ethical engagement. We hope that the triumphs attained as a result of this movement will serve as a catalyst for continuous change across educational institutions everywhere.
Finally, considering how positive this experience has been, we hope that all people, despite whether or not they supported the lockout, can agree that what we've accomplished together is something that we will change our community for the better. Thank you. Thank you. And next, I'd like to introduce Keith Wright, who was our mediator during these conversations, to open it up a little bit more and discuss what was going on.
Thank you. All right. As an alum from 1973, I was joined here yesterday by an alum from 1970, John Goodman, and we were in the original takeover 49 years ago. So my grandmother used to always tell me that in order to cure cancer, you have to expose cancer. So what these folks have done and will continue to do is to cure the cancer that is not only here at this institution, but it's spread all throughout the city, the state, and the country. So there's so many people to thank. I want to thank the Board of Trustees. I want to thank the Board of Trustees. I want to thank these teachers that were guiding these and believe me, they were not telling them what to do, but they were guiding, making sure that they were learning, and quite frankly, these folks, these young people, mostly women, by the way, these young folks are going to become the future presidents of the United States, I do hope. So, As I said, I want to thank the Board of Trustees. We were locked in this room. We were locked in this room, and they did not believe in opening a window. I felt like I was in an interrogation room in the 50th precinct. Don't ask me how I know, but I know what that's like. But they did not let up. And quite frankly, the administration, I think the students now and in the future got exactly what they wanted, and I think the school got exactly what it needed. So I mentioned him before. He's camera shy. But if it were not for John Goodman, class of 70, we would not be here. And I've never known him to be shy, but John Goodman, say something.
Well, I never expected this to happen. I'm delighted to have been a part of this, and I am so overwhelmed by the students that I ran into in the last few days here. There is hope for us, for sure, and I think I want to be like them when I grow up.
Right.
You know? But I don't have anything to add. This is their day, and so you need to be talking to them. Okay.
Am I allowed to mention your name? No. So with that, it's their day. Any questions?
Can we ask the students that were involved in the negotiating process to tell us about what it was like in that room? I mean, was there ever any, I don't know, any doubt in your mind that you were going to get what you were?
What is doubt?
Can you tell us your name? Yeah, tell us your name.
My name is Willa Frere. I think the main thing that we can just say is how grateful we are to the Board of Trustees and the Administrative Council for being so open to speaking with us and really thoughtful throughout the process of that meeting and those negotiations and willing to just discuss all of our ideas and thoughts and clarifications through. So that's just what I would say was kind of the climate in those negotiations, which was really great. So thanks to them again.
Let's just talk about what, have you wrapped your head around what this really means? This isn't just about today and the students who go to this school. This is about the future. These are students that will be affected for years and years to come, maybe your own children. Can you talk about that? Like, this is huge for you. This is huge. Someone talk about if you've really thought about that and what a difference you've made by taking this stand.
Yeah, well, personally, I'm a senior, so I won't get a chance to actually see all of the demands that we've agreed upon actually implemented, but I am very happy knowing that we have such a great group of students here, of students of color, and also some allies who are going to hold this institution accountable once we leave, and will make sure that they implement the demands that they've agreed to. So, yeah. Yes, very proud.
They should.
So how many students were actually in the protest, and also what did you do before the actual sit-in, before deciding that the sit-in was what was necessary?
Right, so we had 87 students in the administrative building participating in the lockout. And then in surrounding buildings, like in our commons, we had sit-ins, we had teach-ins, and in the commons, they held their own little mini lockout. So yeah, if someone else wants to talk about that, maybe. Isabella Ali, yes.
My name is Kaya George, and yeah, I think we all realize how much this is a legacy for our school. We talked to the lower school and the middle school today, and it made us all very emotional because we know that a lot of us are seniors and juniors, and the demands that we made are going to be implemented in a long term. And we do this for the younger kids, the kids that are going to come, and even for other schools as well, because we know that we want to implement change, like systematic change, not only here, but around our school, around our state, and in this country in general. So, oh, I'm a senior. Yeah.
All 20 demands were met, correct? So you didn't have to give up on anything that you wanted. Talk to me a little bit about that negotiating process and remaining steadfast to your demands throughout.
Yeah, so I think it was just, it'll be the last question we answer today, but just it was really great to, throughout the process, just have a strong support system of parents, families, other students who are just supporting us and encouraging us to keep pushing and not letting up, to ultimately get all those demands met. So thank you guys again for all coming out, and we really appreciate it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Lock on. There you go. Get them, there you go. They're united.
Now, we were just hearing from students at the Ethical Culture Fieldston school who have been staging a teach-in to protest the school's handling of a blackface incident involving 2 students at the school. Now, they were demanding long-term curriculum changes, sensitivity training, among many of the things, and many of the students' teachers guided them through this process, as more than 65 students were participating in lockouts and sit-ins. Now students say they've been working with the Board of Trustees and have reached an agreement to meet the students' 16 demands. And they believe that in these 16 demands, they hope it will be a catalyst for change at the school. After that press conference, students were thanking the 20 demands, all 20 demands of the students had been reached, and the Board of Trustees agreed to meet all 20 of the students' demand. Now, the students thanked the Board of Trustees and the school administration for being open to their demands and being open to change for the school. Now, as their mediator between the students and the Board of Trustees was saying that they believe this is going to be what the students wanted and what the school needed. So we'll see how that will play out in the next coming weeks, months, and school years. All right, we'll be right back after a quick break.